Hi everyone. Is anyone on yet? Let's have a little look. Let's wait for the third person to come online. Now it is Monday, and usually on a Monday what I do is put a driving instructor video on the members channel. However, I've decided I've been messing about with these live streams for the last little bit. Some of you may very well have hey, we've got a couple of people on board. Wow, there's a few. Oh no, this is going to be chaos. Hi everyone. Oh my word. Listen, before I start, this was meant to be a members only live stream. However, you can probably tell this is always, this is new, it's winged it as normal. And I've just stuck it out for everyone. Oh my God, I don't think my my little bar is gonna have enough questions. So if I ignore a question, apologies, but thank you so much. Gee whiz, we've got a few people on board. Wow, this is going to be fun. So what are we doing here tonight? Well, Monday is members only upload. What I usually do when I upload is put an ADI training video out, something that I've pre-recorded, and it just goes out just as normal videos do, but it's for members only. People, generally, the part 2 and part 3 of the ADI course. I've just decided just to have a little go at this live stream, and it came, like I said, a little bit just out of the blue, but we're giving it a go. It's going to be fun. Right, Ashley, let's just pick on one of these questions. It's going to be a non-event. Let's hope not. So what I'm going to do first of all, I've got far too many questions already here to be able to go through absolutely every one. So I'm going to just pick on ones that I can obviously see and are quite straightforward. But if you've got any questions, I can't promise I'm going to get to them all, but I'm going to try and answer as many as I can. Don't know how long it's going to last, we will just see. But the first thing that I'd like to do is just go back to my community post today. I'm just going to stick a few of the questions on, or this is what I asked everyone straight from the start. Said to everyone, you may have seen it, this is going to be driving related only. So it's only driving related questions that I'm going to try and answer today. And I'm going to answer a couple of these first of all. First one was from Joe Brownridge, and he said, I really enjoyed your video on tilting mirrors. You've had a fair few cars, so best and worst features of cars. Well, the one that stands out for me, I don't know whether any of you have got or have had a car with the central part at 12 o'clock to show you where straight is. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I know it's probably a racing thing. I wonder whether there's anyone in the comments and who's watching who could add why this is important, but it never seems important to me. The way that you actually tell your car's straight is by looking up the road, so I don't get it. Wait there a second, let's see if we can answer a question from the chat. Oh God, I can't even keep up. There's that many people. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's fab. Right, I'm going to go with Adam Carter. Hi Ashley. I have a driving question. At crossroads, I'm turning right. A car is driving straight across. I've already started my manoeuvre and I'm halfway across the road. Who has priority? It's a little bit of a different one, Adam. It's different than probably you would have just a normal crossroad. A dual carriageway, sorry, is different than you'd have a normal crossroad. But let's just make sure I read it right. I'm at a crossroad, I'm turning right and a car is driving straight across. I've already started my manoeuvre and halfway across the road. Who has priority? Okay, so it's hard to picture, and I haven't worked out yet to get my iPad up on these streams. I will do, so we can explain things a little bit easier. But effectively, if you've started the manoeuvre and someone else starts to go, they should obviously have waited. In a crossroads scenario, what happens is there's no distinct priority. It's just who should really go first. And if you think about it on a normal road, if you were driving straight and someone's turning right coming from the opposite direction, that person turning right should wait for you. and it's the same at crossroads. However, there are many different parts to it. If you have got there first and you're turning right, it may be yourself who decides to make that little move first. It's all done with not necessarily eye contact, because eye contact sometimes gets people to look at the other driver's eyes. It's probably with body language with the car. Make a little move, show people you're going, but always be ready to submit. Now, I hope I've answered that one. I'm going to go, let's see if anything stands out. Matt's here. Hi Ash, great stream quality and setup. Lovely speaking to you this morning, Matt. Thanks for tuning in. Right, next thing. I'm going to go back to my questions here. Right, what do you think has contributed to the fall in driving standards these last few years? Lack of police presence on the roads, people caring less for their fellow man or woman, mobile phone addiction or anything else? A whole manner of things. I think people's standards of driving are getting honestly worse, and I don't know why. I find that even people who I'm teaching, they have less probably natural ability to drive. The coordination between eyes, hands and feet has got worse, and people are generally taking longer to get this sorted. What's all this? I'm going to ignore that one. Okie dokie. Yeah, go back to the question. Sorry, I was just reading a couple of the comments here. Tampon behind you. Okay, sound. So yeah, going back to the question, the things that have made driving worse over the last little bit. Yeah, I think the people are getting less skilled. I don't know whether people maybe play, for example, myself, play less sports nowadays than they used to. Everything that I did as a young kid growing up was eyes, hands and feet coordination. And that's obviously an important part when you are driving. There's many different parts. The police or lack of policing on the road is a big thing. Honestly, driving is becoming more complicated. There's more drivers. The cars are becoming more complicated. Junctions are becoming more complicated. It is going to keep going that way. I think for the foreseeable future. Right, let's answer a question on here. Sorry, I'm just picking. I'm going to pick on Sabrina. Sabrina is one of my, hello Sabrina. I'm picking on Sabrina because she's one of my members, and you may have seen Sabrina's actually one of my training instructors. I'm in the market for a new dash cam. Sorry Sabrina, I'm not getting there. I'm not plugging any dash cams tonight. They're all good. Links in the description, you know the score, not even going there. Right, I'm going to answer this question, and I haven't obviously seen these straight from the off. Well, I've seen them now as I'm looking at them. Ash, delete the spam. How do you delete the spam? Have I got to go through every one of these and delete? Report, here we go. Unwanted or content spam, that's how we do it. Sorry, utterly winging it. Hide the user on my channel. Done. Right, they should all be going. Apologies about that, like I said, absolutely winging it. Remove that one. Oh God, didn't realise there was going to be spam on here as well. I hate them. They really do my head in. Okay, he's not coming back anyway. That one's been reported. Who's going to answer a question? It's gone. Okay, so I'm going to go back to a couple of the questions that I've got on my screen here. So I'm going to go to Mr. Synonym. Do you think the inventions of seatbelts, airbags, automatic emergency braking, etc. have given people the confidence to drive less carefully? Personally, no. I honestly just think there's so many distractions nowadays that people are just overloaded. I honestly don't think that the size of new vehicles helps as well. Not necessarily to give people more confidence so they drive recklessly. I just honestly think that they're so big and people are really poor at judging the size of them. Honestly, it's a hard one to answer. I think there's many things about people driving less carefully. I think that's just the generation of people that probably on the roads nowadays, that they're more interested in me rather than thoughts for other people. Right, I'm going to go down to Jen. Hiya Jen. Jen Livesey. Jen's one of my members as well. Why are spiral roundabouts not taught when learning to drive? I had to learn how to use them from your video. It's a good question. I do teach spiral roundabouts to learners. When I learned to drive, there was no such thing as a spiral roundabout. These are what I'm really talking about new, more complicated junctions. There's very little about them in the highway code. As I've said before, there's nothing to distinguish a spiral roundabout coming into them. But here's another thing as well. There's not necessarily going to be spiral roundabouts in the area that you live. So I can understand if you weren't taught them. There's always the common thing of driving instructors doing the bare minimum, and that's not always the driving instructor's problem, by the way. I'm just going to get rid of those questions in the background. There we go. Let's just stick me in it. There we go. That's better. Yeah, it's not necessarily just the driving instructors who are not necessarily teaching them. It's also, there's pressure from the learners because they're trying to get the cheapest way to get their license. So there's many reasons for it, but if your driving instructor hasn't taught you about spiral roundabouts, they are more and more common. Okay, I'm going to go back to one of my questions. I'm going to try and get through them first, and then I'm going to go back to the questions that are coming in on the stream. Gee whiz, there's so many people. Right, okay. Right, let's go to the next one. Here we go. I'm going to go with Philip Scott here. Philip Scott, 1128. I am travelling along a single carriageway road and a vehicle in front is stopped, indicating and waiting to turn right into a side road. Am I allowed to use the hard shoulder to pass the stopped vehicle on its near side? Simple, quick answer is no. I did do a little bit of prep with this one as well. I just got the highway code up at rule 269, and this explains it. Hard shoulder where present, you must not use the hard shoulder except in an emergency. So to go back to Philip Scott, no, you shouldn't use it. Stay off it. Similar to the thing that crossed my mind when I first saw this question was when you're turning right and there's a bus lane to your left-hand side, many people think you can just nip in the bus lane. Again, if the bus lane is in operation, no, you shouldn't. Right, let's go back to one of these questions. David Hayes, I'm going to pick on David. No reason, really. Hi, Ashley, thanks for making, let's have a little look, where have you gone? Me a better instructor, I hope, lol. By me watching your channel daily since COVID lockdowns. Honestly, I hear this all the time, and it's so nice. It's so nice to hear the little differences and even the little different techniques that people pick up and put into their own teaching. So yeah, thanks for the message. All good. I'm going to go with ones for Sabrina. Hope she's not asking about dash cams again. Ash, what are your thoughts on the one pedal driving in newer EVs? Is it encouraged for eco driving? Most of you remember the Tesla that I had. That had one pedal driving and I loved it. What it tends to do is it encourages you not to accelerate into things too fast. I'm just going to just say a massive thanks to Glitu for that lovely gesture. I'll go back to Sabrina in a second. So yeah, thanks Glitu. Superb. I'm thinking of training as a driving instructor in Liverpool at 35 years old. Is it worthwhile as a side job when you have time around another job? Absolutely. You can work part-time. Honestly, you could probably do 15 hours a week and still take home the best part of £500. So yes, it's definitely as a decent as a side job. Absolutely. It's much more difficult than people realise, but give it a go. If you need any help, get in touch, please do. Back to Sabrina and the EVs. I really liked the one pedal driving. I think it forces you to plan and it forces you not to steam into things. So all good. I'm going to go back to one of these questions. Let's have a little look. I'm going to go to Neil. Neil's again one of my members. Ash, can you ever see the DVSA sorting out the waiting times for driving tests and ADI parts 2 and 3? And what do you think the answer is to clearing the backlog? Well, they've had a big announcement over the last week or so. I think they are on the recruitment for 450 new examiners. They're putting in a few different steps. However, I cannot see it changing. There are far too many people going in for driving tests who aren't ready. The pass rates are absolutely horrendous. Impatience for me is the thing that's driving this most, because people want this driving test now, and they'll go and take a shortest time test as they can, and because they're maybe not prepared, they'll go in for it anyway, and all this does is just increase in the backlog. So for me, the best way to fix this is for driving instructors to prepare their pupils properly. And pupils, if you're going on your test without a driving instructor, you should be able to drive for an hour totally unaided. If mum, dad or anyone supervising you has to step in and say anything, you're not ready. Quite simple for me. All good. I'm going to go to one of the questions in the comments. Let's have a little look. Joseph Marsh. I know loads of these people who are obviously watching, so again, thank you all for tuning in. Here's a question, Ashley. Maybe it's but it's maybe funny. Would you support cyclists needing to take tests and need insurance if it was ever introduced? I'm not against cyclists, by the way. Love your videos. Thank you, Joseph. You are one of the names, many of them, that I recognise, and Joseph has been a supporter of the channel for many, many years. So thank you, Joseph. No, I don't support cyclists needing tests. I'll go on to the insurance in a second, but cycling should be all-inclusive for everyone. And it's down to us motorists to look after people. I don't see insurance needing to be mandatory, because I think it would put people off cycling. I think it's a personal thing. In fact, I've got a spam comment I'm just going to get shut of. Excuse me a second. Oh, that one's... no, it's not gone. Right, give us a second. I'm just going to get rid of this one. Right, report, done, report, and hide use from channel. God, these are a pain, aren't they? Okay, I'm being funny, there wasn't even a dildo behind me, sorry. But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, cyclists. So I'm no to testing, and I'm no to insurance, but I think insurance should be encouraged. If you're a proper person, say for example, if I was riding out and I hit someone and it was my fault, I'd happily pick up the bill. But there's too many people nowadays who are quite happy just to go off and just do their own thing. So I think that answers that one. Just honestly, we should be, all as road users, just able to just literally look after the more vulnerable on the road, and that's what the hierarchy rules are all about. Okay, let's go back to one of these questions. Neil, yeah, DVSA sorting out the waiting times. No, just to totally categorically answer that, I can't see it getting better for 2 or 3 years at least. Very poor. It's been. Tell you another thing as well. I do know plenty of examiners who are thinking of retiring and just walking away as well. Things are only going to get worse. So I'm going to go to Rob on my comment. I've nearly got through them, so I can maybe concentrate on some of... I'm just going to delete these a second. Remove, not having them. Sorry about that. Right, they've gone. Thank you. Ashley, turn on subscriber only in the chat, reduce the bots commenting. Okay, I shall do. Again, apologies, it's just been absolutely winged. But we will sort that out. I don't know whether I can do it from here. If it gets too bad, I'll just literally shut everything down. So apologies about that. I'm going to go back to, like I said, the community post. It's from Rob K2291. Hi Rob again, one of my members. Ashley, do you think advanced driver training, IAM or ROSPA, etc. should be compulsory for everyone within 3 years of passing the driving test? I don't know how that could ever be implemented. The numbers, quite simply, are too much. Yes, I would always advise people to go off and get further training. And when this question first came in, I had a thought, and I often give people this as an analogy. When you go on holiday and the pilot is flying that plane that you're going on holiday they probably learnt in a little two-seater propeller aircraft. Do you hope that they've done further training to fly that jet? Of course you do. And I don't understand why people don't go off and do further training. The cars that we've got nowadays, my little comparison, my car that I teach in the Focus ST has more power than an Escort Cosworth. Mind blown, because that was a really fast car in the day when I was growing up. But you should please go off and do some further training. But even if there's not, hopefully you watch a few of the videos and pick up a few of the things. Ibrahim's here. Hi Ibrahim, good to see you. Bob's here as well. Hiya Bob. Right, I'm just going to see what I can answer here. Right, let's go down. Oh God, we've got more of these things. Apologies about this. It's something that obviously I did not understand first time, but we're just going to have to spend a little bit of time just getting rid of these people. Big fat Kathy, bye. Okay, no problems. Aren't those bots an absolute awful thing? I don't get them. They just serve no purpose whatsoever. Right, I'm going to go for Thomas. Evening, Thomas Elliott. Thomas again is one of my stalwarts on my channel. Lovely to see you on here. And Thomas actually caught some of my first attempts at this, didn't you, mate? He did message and say, I saw your first attempt at live streaming and it went wrong because I put out public. Anyway, what's Thomas asking? You could do with moderators who would deal with the spam. Possibly, no idea how that works. I will look into it for next time. Brilliant. Matt, I'm going to go down to the next question underneath Thomas to Matt. Evening all, nice to see one of these, Ash. I'll try and think of something intelligent to say. Okay, that was a waste of time, Matt, but thank you for being here. Have we still got these? Let's just go through another one of these. Just report another one of these. Okie dokie. Not sure what's gone on with my my questions. Okay. Questions seem to have stopped, everyone. As it froze. What's happening? Anyway, I'm going to go down to the question at the bottom here. What's your opinion on the slingshot manoeuvre at roundabouts? Would you consider doing it? Yes. What's going on with all this? Have we been shut down? I hope not. Oh no, we're back again. That's all good. I panicked there for a second. Obviously don't know how things work on this. I thought we'd been shut down because of all those bots. So I'm going to go back to Panther9450. What's my opinion on the slingshot manoeuvre at roundabouts? Would you ever consider doing it? I've done a video on this. In fact, I've done a couple. Can't remember how long ago. I've done it myself, yes, before I was a driving instructor. And it was years and years ago. Most of you know that I was brought up in Formby bypass, the A565, as you head back down towards Formby. Everyone at certain times of day was in the left lane turning left towards Formby, and I used to just bomb down the outside, do a U-turn at the roundabout and just come straight back in. Bit cheeky, it's not illegal. Would I do it now? No, especially with me driving around with my car. I'm sure that wouldn't go round or go down well. Let's have a little look what Matt's come back to say. Matt Wardman, cyclist and insurance. I think most do have insurance already. Me too. up to about 70% since it comes free with pretty much every house contents policy covering all household members. Yeah, I think that's correct. I think most people don't know that either, Matt. I actually had to find that out as well. I'm going to go to the K. Hi Ash, do you think taxi drivers should have more training considering some of the poor driving we witness? Yes, but I think everyone should have more training. I personally don't think taxi drivers are any better or any worse than the average motorist. It's just because they have that tag on their car of the taxi badge, and they're probably highlighted a little bit more because they sometimes, I don't know, they stand out, maybe, because they're all grouped because of this tag, whether it be the plate on the back or whether it be the company that they work for. So I think they stand out a little bit more. Okay, two-shot Tino, nice to see you. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Following from my Part 2 and PDI standards, do you think too many people are becoming PDIs because they see it as an easy paycheck rather than wishing to improve road safety? Yes, I absolutely do. I think there's ways around the system. You've obviously got to pass Part 1, the theory to be a driving instructor, and pass Part 2, the driving. But then I personally don't think there's enough sort of like checks to make sure the appropriate training has been given. And certain hours can be signed off pretty easily without any checks. I don't think it's good, to be honest. Right, let's go down. Have we answered all the questions on that? I think so. So I can get shut of that. Thank you to everyone who asked one of those questions. We'll just go back to me now. Right, I'm going to pick on, I'm not going to go to the latest one. Let's go on to someone who I haven't answered. Lee Arthur. Hiya, Lee. Good evening. What do you think of the modern technology in cars like speed limiters? Is it a good thing, or does it make us reliant on technology? Would love to see you do a series of videos about car tech. I've done a few bits on car tech. Speed limiters personally are a preference of mine as opposed to cruise control. We've got another bot. Excuse me a second. Let's just get shut of them. Report. Off you go to the banning bin. Okay, so that one's gone as well. So yeah, what was I talking about? Tech. Limiters are my preference. Interestingly, I had a little bit of footage sent to me yesterday. Someone was on the way to work, someone who I know very well. Someone was on the way to work on the motorway, moved out round a lorry, and from what I can gather from the footage that he sent me, I think cruise control was on, and cruise control spat him off into a tree on a motorway. That video will be coming up as soon as I can. So yeah, that situation, modern tech, sometimes people don't understand how to use it properly. Hopefully I'm going to do a decent piece on that as well, because it is a piece of information that I don't think people know well enough. But other tech, I think it's honestly overall a distraction, but the safety side of things does save lives. But the one that stands out for me, and I don't know what everyone thinks about this, is lane keep assist. Lane keep assist, I call it the cyclist killer, because if you're on a single carriageway and you go out to move round a central line, it just pulls you back in and tries to take the cyclist out, and it fights against you. So I don't, honestly, I don't like all of the tech. It's just changed as well. There's a video coming out at the weekend that you'll see me driving a pretty new, quite expensive car that's got a little bit of this tech. It wasn't too intrusive in that situation, but it can be an issue. Right, I'm going to go back up to James Crawford. What's the best way to submit dashcam videos for your channel? Honestly, people usually send me a link when they've uploaded it to Google Drive or similar, and that's the best way. If you just send it by email, it reduces the quality massively, and there are many clips that I can't use because they're literally so small, and if you put them into a dash cam compilation, they'll look honestly a load of rubbish. So if you can, upload to Google Driver Simulator and then send me a sharing link. Cyro's driver training, add me as a mod. Ash, you can monitor the bots whilst you concentrate on the questions. I probably will do at a different time. So thank you for the offer. I'm just going to go with it for tonight. Okie dokie, let's have a little look. Let's have a little look. I'm just going to try and see top chat, live chat. I'm just going to stick it down to live chat. There's still more bots. I'm just going to get shut of them a second. Excuse me, everyone. Right, okie dokie reports, and I'll get on to another question in 1 second. Can I just ask everyone as well, what's the audio quality like and what's the pitch quality like? One of the reasons why I haven't done this before is because I don't really want everyone seeing on the inside of the house. So I've blurred all the background. I know nothing's on show, but my home is my home. I want it to continue to be private. But how's the video quality? How's the audio quality? Let's have a little look, see whether I can just go to this. See, there's more bots. There's bots everywhere. Okie dokie. Both perfect, Ash. Both great. Excellent, brilliant sound. That's what we like. It just makes shine off my baldy head, I think. Anyway, right, let's go to another question. Right, I know loads of people are offering to be help with moderating. Brilliant. I'm definitely going to take someone up on that. Right, let's go to a question. One from Ian Thomas, just come in. Hi Ian, good evening. Drivers aren't allowed videographic display in-car visible to the driver unless it's navigation or status. However, roadside advertising with massive animated screens seems to be allowed. Totally get you, but you don't have to look at them. It's like, I'll tell you the one for me on that a lot of people don't realise is dash cam displays. I think they can be classed as illegal if you have them on while driving and they're visible. So if you've got a dash cam, set the picture to go off after as short a time as you possibly can, because that could be illegal as well. Build bright, I'm bald, so am I. Never been bothered about it though, to be fair. Ibrahim, what's Ibrahim asking? Audio and picture all boss, as you say in Liverpool. Well done, Ibrahim. I hope you're okay, mate. Ibrahim's been through some terrible luck. Most of you probably know, but he's in the process of being treated for leukemia. He lost his mum not so long ago, so best wishes to you, Ibrahim, over the Christmas period. I hope you have a decent one. Right, let's have a little look. Smiler Bob, audio fine and no glare on the video. Yeah, you're just being kind to me. Right, okay, let's go to another question. James Cole, on the topic of modern tech, what do you think about the manufacturers moving all or nearly of the infotainment being on the touchscreen? Doesn't seem massively different from using a mobile phone. Totally agree. I came up with a little thought with a discussion with one of my instructors. Was it today? Was it just before the weekend? It might have been today, actually, to be honest. I've had a long day training already. And we came up with a conclusion. I don't know whether this is correct. One of the reasons why I think they're all sticking it all on a touchscreen nowadays, because it will be cheaper. And for me, hang on a minute, I'm just going to get rid of this bot as well. Get off. We will get rid of that one. Definitely do need a moderator, don't I? Report. Apologies about the interruptions for this. But I think you all know... I'd rather wing it. You get what you get. You see what you see. So yeah, back to the information and the screens. It's a faff. I know I'm sounding like a spoiled brat here, but we were talking about it in relation to the heated seats today, and it was a faff for my PDI to get the heated seat off, and that just shows you how. Oh, my missus has got in touch. Hang on a second. Excuse me. I'd love a cup of Liz, thanks. Isn't my missus great? She's offered me a cup of tea. Well done, Liz. Like it. So yeah, it's a bit of a faff even to get the heated seats. I'm not just talking about that though. Even I had a situation with my last lesson this evening, and the rear demister was pressed and it didn't instantly react, and then my student pressed it again and then it went on and off. So it's an absolute faff rather than a button. Please, please, please give us some buttons back. I'm getting rid of this bot at the bottom. Report. So yeah, tech, it's just a big problem nowadays. I've talked loads now, or recently, about cognitive load. And honestly, all these infotainment screens are just making things worse. I tell you one thing that I often talk about as well, is watching the speedo. Do you watch your speed? We often hear, well, I often hear instructors saying, "Oh, watch your speed." That looking even at the dials and even look at your speedo can be as distracting as your infotainment screens and as distracting as a mobile phone. I remember not so long ago I did a video with one of my students just to prove this point, where I cover the speedo up, and I cover it up for the pupil, but I can just see down the side, so it actually stays legal. You should be having that visible. Honestly, I'm not sure whether the police would even look at you, even if I was doing it for that reason. In any case, there is a legality side behind it, but I make my students listen for the speed, and when they listen for the speed, their eyes are then able to look at everything out in front of them. So that on its own is honestly just as important and just as bad as looking at a mobile phone. Right, let's have a little look. My live chat keeps on pausing. Is that something that often happens? Not sure. Alex Browning, question: have you seen the latest, or have you seen Jeremy Vine's latest video? No, I haven't. I do go on Twitter a little bit, but not much. If you ever see something that you'd like me to take a look at, please tag me in it on Twitter, because I can't see Jeremy's stuff if I just go on his, or can I now? I don't know. I don't really pay much attention to him, but if there's anything that goes on that you'd like me to have a look at, please just send me a link. Even on Twitter, just ask me the question and I'll get it, I'll find it. It's not a problem. But I don't look at it that much. Interestingly though, keep tuned in shortly on my cycling channel, because there's another little bit with Jeremy Vine and Cycling Mikey on. I'm sure many of you will want to have a look at that. So my live chat has stuck again. Is that something that often happens? I'm just going to get shut of these. God, I definitely need a moderator, don't I? Report unwanted spam. Did not know about this. Here's my better half with my cuppa.
If you click on me, I'll take all those bots off.
Will ya?
Yeah.
Oh, that's all right. Right, I'm going to go and find my missus. And Liz said she'll take all those bots off, which is all good. She might have to comment again. Right, live chat. Right, okie dokie. So let's get back to a question. Okie dokie. You can enable slow mode and an OFC, a mod, and also subscribers only. Yeah, I think I will do that next time. Cup of tea in front of me. Yes, absolutely. He likes my Star Wars mug. Right, Liz, if you're listening, can you comment again so I can find you? I'm going to put you as... I'm going to click it as Liz, and then Liz can get rid of all the bots for me. Hi, Liz. Where's Liz? Oh, Liz came in, didn't she? You're right. I can't even read these this quick, so apologies. It's going to be, like I said, a little bit of a shambles. Right, let's go. Where's Liz? Excuse me, I'm just gonna, she probably, everyone's saying hi, Liz. She needs to comment again. Hang on a sec. Give us a sec. Liz, have you commented, hon? No, anyone said you want a cup of tea. Stick another one on for us and I'll cheers. Sorry, Liz is taking care of something else. Apologies. It will be Liz to the rescue. Mark 1, yeah, absolutely. No problem. I'm going to get to a wife mod for the win. You know what? I couldn't do half this, well, more than half this stuff without my better half. Honestly, she allows me to do so much to then produce videos for the channel. So, honestly, you're a ledge. Liz, right. Look at my missus, Liz, Neil, Adam, you are the favourite. Adam, honestly, we don't favourite our kids, but everyone needs a Neely new. Right, I'm going to put managing moderator, can manage block words. Yeah, go ahead, Liz. Hopefully, Liz is now managing moderator for your channel. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for the info as well. I can get on now just to answering some more questions. How long have we been going? 42 minutes. Wow, that goes quick. Right, the Alba Galvanator.
Add Adam too. He's going to do it as well.
Adam's doing... Add Adam as well.
But he's under his other name.
Okie dokie. I will sort that out. Right, I will sort that out. Add as moderator. Managing moderator. Good, okay, I've got 2 people on it now. That should be all right. One of my lads should be able to sort this out. Right, what was going to? Cy Roads, driver training, thank you. I wouldn't put that on anyone though, but thank you for the offer, Cy. You're an absolute star. Thank you for that. Right, let's get back to a question. How can I report my old driving instructor for unprofessionalism? It's actually an easy one. Just go on Google and literally search report a driving instructor. It depends what you mean by unprofessionalism, though. The DVSA do look at things in depth. They are pretty good at this. I've had to deal with a few reports from about myself, and this was literally from a few of the people cycling Twitter. They reported me because one of the situations I like to comment. Don't even know whether I should talk about this. No, I'm not going to talk about it. But I liked a particular comment, and I understood the DVSA's way. I wasn't liking all of the comment. I was liking a part of the comment. But if I like a comment, it just goes down as liked. So that situation, I agree. But I've been, honestly, I've had to go through 3 complaints from DVSA. They do it properly. I've been involved in another couple where I've backed up evidence that the DVSA requested from me about someone else. So they do look at things properly. All good. Mod Liz, yes, Liz is the mod. Right. Let's go for another question. Let's have a look. All hail Liz, Alex Browning. Yes, she is a good one. Right, Liam Beckwith. Question. Do you think there's a problem with UK roads, people driving too slowly? If so, what's the solution? No, I don't think there's any problem with people driving too slowly. I think there's actually a problem with people thinking driving slowly is going to hold up their journey, where it actually won't. Usually what happens is, even if you drive slowly, traffic lights, for example, work in pulses. They'll let a pulse of traffic through to the next section. So you would have to probably be doing about 20 odd miles above the speed limit to actually get through that pulse. So honestly, driving faster, nah, it's not like that. Gonna go one with James. Evening, James. Do you think learning in a car with assists can make it harder for learners in their first car, if their first car is an older one? Main example being an auto handbrake versus manual handbrake. Yes, I do. Auto handbrake is one, but what I try and tell all my students, I was doing it with one of my students the other day. I was talking to them about when they pass, how they should be operating the handbrake. I even got them to prepare an imaginary handbrake by lifting it up and pressing the button in whilst they were working their feet to move away. So yes, that's an issue. The big one for me, and it's a pain in the backside, is anti-stall measures, where you can just lift the clutch, and my car does it too, where it revs slightly. It looks as though we've got rid of those bots. Thank you, Adam. Pudsey Bear moderator. If you don't have a problem with people driving too slowly, how would you change the driving test, which can actually fail for inappropriate speed? Yeah, that's one of my lads. He did qualify as a driving instructor, even though he's just binned his badge. He's doing something much more interesting. How would it change the driving test? I actually do think that there is an issue with people being failed for hesitancy, but for me it should be as they're on the approach rather than maybe not getting up to a specific speed. I started doing this job in St Helens, and the East Lancs Road at that particular point was a national speed limit road, and I've had people fail for doing 55 and not overtaking a lorry. I think that's absolutely rubbish. I think it's terrible. I don't agree with it. In certain scenarios where there is a higher risk, yes, but if I'm doing 22 miles an hour on a 30 limit and there's no risk and there's room for people to overtake, so what? Hope that answers your question, Adam. You could have just asked me, mate, to be fair. You've just been round 2 hours. Anyway, Lady Demon, hi Ashley, love watching your videos. I attempted my instructor training, failed as let my pupil make safe mistakes so they can see the impact and learn how to fix. Not acceptable. Unfortunately, no. What they want, before I go on there, Build Bright, thank you so much for your gift. Honestly, blows me away how people can just give me a fiver. I'll definitely use that. I'm definitely gonna have a pint over the next few days, so thank you so much. So yeah, back to Lady Demon about allowing students to make a fault and then fixing things. It's not something that the DVSA want. They want you to be proactive and fix it prior to it happening. It's not always possible. Sometimes you can teach retrospectively. If the fault isn't of risk, sometimes you can let it happen and then allow your student to work out what happened and why. But they do want it to be proactive if possible. Apologies if I miss people's questions, but I can't answer everything. Let's have a little look. I'm not pronouncing the username, but hey Ashley, I'd like to say thank you for making your videos. They've made me take a step back and reconsider my behaviour while I'm driving. Love that. Maybe night. Brilliant. Next question. I heard that the emergency stop isn't mandatory for your test in England. No, it's not. You'll only do a set amount. I think that's getting less as well. It used to be about 1 in 3. I think it's less than that now. I actually don't do many learner tests, but I can't remember the last one of mine that actually had it. Question from SE. As an advanced driver, would you rather see the advanced level of driver training be the standards for passing the driving test, or is the current standard sufficient? No, I would love to make it harder, but the problem is then, are you then going to force people into driving illegally? It's a tough one to answer that, but I don't think the driving test is sufficient. I think many skills are lacking where people can still go straight through the test. I would change the test quite dramatically. Ibrahim is asking me a question. I'm going to answer Ibrahim. There are some very interesting driver instructor videos from the 1970s with cars such as Hillman Avengers and Austin 1100s, and an advanced driving video from the 60s with a Mark 1 Jag. Do you teach students about lane keep assist features in cars? Yes, I do. Said it a little bit earlier on. Sorry, that's on to the next question. Honestly, Ibrahim, send me them because I'd love to have a little look at them. I think they're quite interesting watching how things used to be. We've got to evolve, but it is nice seeing the old stuff. Let's have a little look at a question from Dave R. What would your advice and guidance be on getting into becoming a driving instructor as a relatively young person? Just spoke a little bit ago about one of my lads being a driving instructor. At one point, he must have been the youngest driving instructor in the country because he was not far off 21 when he started. I started early 20s as well. I've been doing the job 25 years now. It's coming up to 25 years. It is, yeah. So yeah, early 20s I was doing a job, and I don't know why more people don't do it. Are there any problems with being so young and a driving instructor? Yeah, they look at your students sometimes, but they look at you a little bit funny because you're younger than them. And they sort of like look at you saying, well, how can you be doing this? But cracking profession, we need some younger people doing the job as well. Go for it. If you need any advice, get in touch. Let's have a little look. Here we go. Two-shot Tino, I believe it's 1 in 3 emergency stop on PDI Part 2 test, 1 in 8 for a learner test for an emergency stop. Thank you for the extra info. Wouldn't surprise me, to be honest. Even 1 in 3 for the Part 2 PDI, I don't know whether they do them that much, if I was honest, but I'm going with that. June, hi Ashley, big fan. Merry Christmas, mate. Thank you. Merry Christmas to everyone. Right, I'm gonna probably just go for another about 8 minutes. That makes it an hour. That's plenty long enough. I'm gonna go for a little question from JSM Driving School. Thanks for tuning in. Hi Ashley, good video. I've been in the industry many years like yourself. Now an emergency response blue light instruction. Excellent. It's good to see people diversifying. I've never stood still. I've got plenty planned over this next 12 months as well. Hopefully it's a little bit entertaining. Right, let's get down to questions. Anyone got any questions? Right, question here. Done that one. Right, sorry, just scrolling through. Okay. Question, new one coming from Cats. In lieu of making practical tests harder, would you think making the theory test harder and more educational? Questions on flow priority is given. Diminishing returns on speed would help. I personally think the theory test is pretty useless. Honestly, thank you to Zaya for the message. Hey Ashley, good to see you streaming. Thank you. Thank you for your support and all my members and all my honestly my viewers and subscribers. It's lovely to have such positivity from a massive group of people. I can honestly say I can't think of any other community that's better than this one, so thank you all. But no, back to the theory test. I don't honestly think the theory test is any good. You probably know my thoughts on the hazard perception test. Hazard perception test, the DVSA have just created a generation of just target fixators, if I was honest. The theory test doesn't teach you anything about what to do with the actual hazard, and it's a pain, to be fair. Right, Thomas Dalston, Ashley Neal, thoughts on Cycling Mikey being a force for good with his YouTube channel? Mikey honestly has done a lot of good, bringing awareness of mobile phone use. I just wish he would do it differently, that's all. But life would be pretty boring if we were all the same. I've said before on video, if he collects the footage, just report it and then just tell people they've reported it. But that wouldn't get the views. In any case, I'm going to go down to a question here. Stephen, when cycling can I do not proceed? When cycling, can I do not proceed through when a vehicle is turning left? I think it's dangerous. Do you think it's the hierarchy rules enough to encourage this dangerous behaviour? No, I think there's the poorly thought through. Giving cyclists priority is good, but like I said, it's a direct contradiction with advice that I would give anyone. You often see stickers on the side of lorries, don't pass on the left. I don't get it. Really don't get it. Anyway, no, some of the rules in the hierarchy rules are not new anymore at the end of the day. They're 3 years old, but they're beyond a joke. Implementation has been the biggest problem though. For me, the hierarchy rules are not an issue. I've even forgot my cup of tea. Sorry, excuse me. Excuse me slurping, that's very rude of me. But they've not been implemented properly, these hierarchy rules. For me, they would work if 70-80% of the people were using them. But it's the other way around. And more, I'd probably say 70-80-90% of the people aren't using them. Just causes problems. Baz W, hi Ashley, do you still play football? No, I haven't played for years. if I was honest. My football injury doesn't do me any favours, if I was honest. But I'm too busy. It's finding time. Even now, it's 9 o'clock on a Monday evening, and I'm still working. Although I do love this, to be fair. Right, let's get down to another couple of questions, and I'm going to wrap it up. Sajid, question: I avoid driving into the busy and new places out of fear of making mistakes and losing my licence. Passed the test less than 2 years ago. What would your advice be to overcome this? That's a tough one as well. You've got to build up slowly, but you can't just not push yourself. Fear of losing your licence. If you keep safe, and remember, it does not have to be perfect, it's just got to be perfectly safe. Take your time, try and observe nice and far, try and take in many times or many things, but it's such a tough one to just answer that in a question. I just wish, to be honest, I could see the exact problems you had. Tell you what, there's the answer. Go and get some advanced training. People have talked about IAM and ROSPA. Yes, they can help, but honestly, good experienced driving instructors can help you out as well. So, right, Two Shot Tino, thank you so much. It's very good of you to be sending me that gift again. Have a drink on you. I certainly will do. Thank you so much. Right, here's a little question. Hi Ashley, been a fan of yours for years. Thank you. My mate failed his test and his instructor is difficult. I would have let him use my MX-5. Is an MX-5 allowed on UK tests? I don't think so, because it's 2 seats. I think there generally has to be a seat for a supervising examiner to sit in the back. If you're ever in doubt about your car, check out DVSA's website. They'll be able to sort it. Sophia's on board as well. Hi, Sophia. There's so many questions. You should do another one of these in the new year. I absolutely will. I promise you. Let's have a little look. Glitter, honestly, it makes me a little embarrassed that people are just so kind. Thank you so much all for your support. It's absolutely amazing. Question from Liam Beckwith. I'm going to read this one. Do you think there should be an additional test for people once they reach a certain age, 70? Yes, but I've said it before, and it's actually something that has happened within my family as well. That in a couple of situations, in both my side of the family and Liz's side of the family as well, that personally I think it should be down to, and it's a hard one, it should be on your family members to keep an eye on people. So if there's anyone in your family who isn't up to driving, please just tell them. I know it's a difficult question. Cone Van Bella, very nice to see you here. Member of my channel for 10 months. Viewer from Belgium. So many people from different parts of the world watching my stuff, and it's amazing. It just shows you, honestly, it shows you that these skills that I'm trying to put across and everyone talks about and everyone gets involved with, they're transferable, and they are. Brilliant. So I think I'm going to answer one last question. And Louis, what do you think is going to happen with the EV car mandate? Can you see problems around charging being solved before the deadline? Merry Christmas, Ash. Merry Christmas to yourself as well. The EV situation's a funny one. Liz has got an EV car and we've just ordered another one, if I was honest. I still don't think they're for the masses. They're pretty good value nowadays second hand, but charging, if you are not in a situation like we've got a home charger, but if you live in a terraced house, Liverpool's littered with terrace housing and there's not enough charging infrastructure for situations like that. Holden man, is that you, Paul? Is that you, Paul? Morning from Australia. Holden man, Please answer if that's you, Paul. Sorry, it's just a mate of mine. Used to be one of my neighbours. I think it must be. Okay, so yeah, EVs, it's a funny situation. Not sure what's going to happen. Honestly, though, I do think my next car will probably be an electric one. And to finish, I'm just going to answer Jen Livesey's question. She's been a member of mine for 17 months. And let's have a little look at what Jen says. And when my dad was still driving, it got to the point where I had to stop him driving. He was not safe. Unfortunately, he's no longer here. And honestly, what a brilliant decision. And it's super hard. However, you're taking away their independence. Yes, we know that. But you could be saving someone's life. So I'm just going to say to everyone, oh, it's not Paul, it's Gary. Sorry. I've just got a mate, Paul Holden, who's out in Oz as well. So he's a mate from Liverpool. So I thought it was Paul. But anyway, we're going to wrap it up there, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. I've got no ideas of the numbers. I've done it for the first time. I hope it wasn't too sketchy. I need to give Liz a little bit of an extra Christmas present as well for looking after, and you, Adam. Thanks for sorting all those bots out. To everyone else, have a cracking Christmas. Love you all to bits. Thanks for your support. Up to a good 2020.